Well. Welcome everybody. It's another broadcast of the Good Brothers Community Podcast, and it's Friday night, right here on the hill at Churchill Smoke Shop, and it's ladies' night. And we have a special guest. As always, Queen of the Hill, Miss Syreeta Lakim, the general manager of Churchill Smoke Shop. And I can't forget my right hand man, Pete Powell the third. All right,
Back in black.
that's right. And um, and we're gonna allow Miss Syreeta Lakim to tell us more about the shop and the things that she got planned and her vision for the shop. She did it on podcast too, and we're gonna let her do her thing again because we're in video. Because she's pretty. You can see her face.
Her.
So, Miss Syreeta, what is your vision for Churchill Smoke Shop?
My vision is to well, first of all, make it a little more female friendly.
Okay.
I know that smoking cigars wasn't always the most ladylike scene and isn't a scene that women would always gravitate to. But over the last, I would say, well, since I've been in the cigar business about 8 years, I'm starting to see women becoming more and more interested in smoking cigars and getting away from that stereotype that smoking isn't ladylike.
Right.
Hashtag ladies light up too.
Right.
So I really want to start to create more of a safe space for the
Okay.
women to where when they come, they don't feel so out of place. And I'm never trying to take the masculinity out of the area. I'm never trying to do that. But also in the midst, just trying to slightly enhance some femininity to make the women feel a little more comfortable about smoking, about being in the cigar scene.
Makes
I
sense.
do want to start back doing more events. I know before COVID, I had all kind of stuff going on.
Right.
I had First Thursdays going on with the live band. I used to do adult game night,
Right.
seduction and cigars, erotic open mic poetry, and Black Dollars Matter. However, when COVID came, that kind of made things take a turn. So I put a pause on it until people got more comfortable coming outside. So I do plan on getting some of those events back going, especially the poetry night, the seduction and cigars, because I do know that people like to go somewhere when they can express themselves.
Right.
So not only can you come in and get you a nice buzz, but you can also get some shit off your mind from the week. So I do want to get some more events going. Giving Churchill that little pizzazz that it had before COVID. So
Okay. But Mr. Rilla Kim, but besides you being now the general manager of Churchill Smoke Shop, tell our listeners what got you interested in cigars, in the cigar culture.
So honestly, it really started. I was 18 when my mother and father first took me to a cigar shop back at home.
Okay.
I'm from Chicago, but we went to one in Homewood, Illinois, and
Okay.
that's I first was introduced to the Tatiana brand. So I first started smoking cigars at 18. It was Tatiana's. So yes, I was on the groovy blue train, like a lot of our beginners are. And I don't even know if I ever told Preston this. I was trying to work in their cigar shop and they wouldn't hire me. I
Oh,
think it's
what?
because they wouldn't hire me. I think it's because, my skin color. But of course it was a white owned shop. But yeah, they wouldn't hire me. And I find that funny now just thinking about that it went from me trying to get in the cigar business at 18, and then I was about 24 when I started working, about 23, 24 when I started working at Churchill. Never even thought about trying to get back into it. I was matter of fact, one of the young ladies that used to work here, Nick, I was friends with Nick, used to hang out with her, and she told me about Churchill. I think she was working like only one day. She was working at Nissan or something.
Yeah.
So she wasn't able to be here like that. And so I ended up coming up here talking to Earl. That was the most interesting encounter of my life.
My doula.
I'm not even going to discuss that encounter, but just
Right.
know I came in and I'm like, yeah, I'm giving this verbal resume. I do this, I do that. I used to intern with mass comm major. I can do this, I can do that. Earl say, baby, let me go and stop you right there. You know this ain't no real job, right? That man said, you know, this ain't a real job,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And I'm like, well, shit, that's right up my alley. When can I start? So, definitely that was an interesting experience. But I will say, the way that I came in the door, I should have known that this is gonna be a hella fine place to be. So,
Right. So,
yeah,
while
but
we
that's
got,
how I got in it.
but look, while we got you, I definitely want you to talk a little bit about your cigar. I mean, most people don't know you have a signature cigar. In fact, I'm smoking one now, the La Bruja Negra. That's your very own stick. That's rolled for you. Sumatra wrapper, Dominican long filler, rolled by GTO Cigars and produced specifically for Sharita. So you can give a little people a little insight on your particular
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah, so me, Preston, and Abraham teamed up with the wonderful, the awesome Oscar Rodriguez, the owner of GTO Cigars, and pretty much I kind of told those gentlemen what it is that I wanted to produce, what kind of flavor I wanted, what kind of size, and they literally took everything that I asked and rubbed the damn lamp, and the cigar genie came out and made that shit happen. So I want to definitely give a big shout out to Preston, to Abraham, and to Oscar for making that shit happen. It's a very smooth smoke. Whether you smoke sweet cigars or if you don't like them even with a sweet, I guarantee you that cigar right there would it's gonna satisfy your tongue palate. It only has a sweet tip, so it's not fully infused. So it's just a hint to it to where it continues to make the smoke extremely smooth. So I haven't had any complaints so far. So
Not at all. It's a good
hopefully in
smoke.
very good smoke,
Very
very
good
good smoke.
smoke.
I'm looking for in the future to come out with a bigger ring gauge, but a shorter size. That's more appealing to the hands of some men. A lot of men don't like a Lancero, which they sleep on. They sleep on that shit.
Say they
They
didn't
like
grow
that.
up.
They like the big boys.
They didn't
That's
grow up
right.
on those
70,
old
80 gauge.
westerns like we did. Clint Eastwood and all that. That was the thing. You smoked the Lancero.
That's
They
like
on
smoking
that.
a
They on
Billy
that
B.
TV shit.
Huh?
They on that. They on that big boy shit. That's
I,
all.
I mean, hey, what's wrong with a big gauge cigar?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. However, my thing is just because see some people think they'll come in. I've gotten this happen, from a customer. Yeah, I want a big cigar. I want a big cigar. Then but you want something that's extremely good, right? But you just want the big cigar I got.
Right.
Nah, no, no, no. You need to find something that's fitting for your tongue palate, and then the ring gauge will come later. Worry about what's good for your tongue palate. You just
Well
want something
said.
for show.
Well said.
That's not what this atmosphere is for. This is not a for show atmosphere
There you
at
go.
all.
Peace to people.
Right. Well said.
Peace to
Very
people.
well said. Very well said.
Yeah, it's not.
Peace
It's
to
not
people.
because you end up getting showed up and showed on, trying to come in here
Right.
showing out.
Right.
Well,
Right.
speaking of which, I think you got coming up soon. You spoke to me about potentially doing a Cigars 101 for not only
Yeah,
the
cigar
ladies, but
etiquette
all,
class.
yeah,
Hmm.
beginners, letting them
Yeah,
know, proper etiquette for when they either when they're here or one of the other shops in the city, or when they go
exactly.
out of town, so they have some idea. Because a lot of people here are fairly new to the market itself.
Exactly. Yeah. So especially for beginners who, maybe coming in here was their first time, and
Right.
everything is the cigar rules are different kind of in different places, but for the most part, the foundation is the same, the basics are the same. So the purpose of trying to do this cigar etiquette class is to get people to understand no matter where you go, there's a certain way you conduct yourself in the cigar scene when you go into a cigar shop. It's very uncouth to walk into a cigar shop with your own cigars and you don't plan on purchasing any from the establishment. Things like that. Walking in a cigar shop and squeezing on the cigars, uncouth. That's a no-no. So the purpose of this course that we'll do would be to teach etiquette and also teach more background about, the difference between Connecticut, Habano, Maduro, barber poles, and giving more of an insight on how the cigars actually work. Looking for hopefully getting a new he said he'll teach it, and then all the participants will receive a certificate after the class, letting you know that you did your completion. So I think that's going to be really good.
Let them know they Churchill certified.
You Churchill certified, a Churchill certified cigar
Right.
with aficionado or whatever you want to call it, a connoisseur, whatever, whatever title whatever flashy shit we come up with. But
Right.
yeah. So, and if you take your ass somewhere after you got that certificate and you make us look bad, we're gonna kick your ass.
That was funny.
We got. Hey, don't leave out here representing us. So you go out there telling them, yeah, I got this certificate, and you still doing stupid shit in the cigar shop. No, I'm gonna get on your ass.
Bad for business. Bad for business.
But yeah, but that's about it so far. Kind of what I'm trying to do. We got Super Bowl coming up February 12th. This is my first year handling Super Bowl. I'm actually about to start collecting money this weekend. It's $10 to get in. If you're VIP, there's free entry. And then if you want bar seats, it is $25 for bar seats. We don't care who you are.
There you go. Well, good deal, Mama.
So.
Look, we appreciate it as always. And to everybody out there, you'll hear Sharita on this podcast periodically, if not all the time, come in and give her 2 cents about what's going on or any topic that we choose to talk about. But I know you got to get to work. I see Dee around here. She hustling up on your behalf.
Man, Dee been gone for 3 weekends. That motherfucker playing catch up.
Watch out now.
She playing catch up. Tell her I said it. I'm on break.
Hey, D. Syreeta said you got to catch up.
Tell I'm on break. She been gone for 3 weekends.
You let Millie tell her. You let Millie tell her. She the only person come to work and go on break as soon as she walk in the door.
I ain't even doing that. I ain't did that in like 2 years. I ain't did that in like 2 years, man. I get better.
Right.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.
Until next time.
Until next
Queen
time.
of the Hill. Over and out.
That's right.
Chad, speaking of which, to carry on. Y'all can't see right now, but D retaliate.
Yeah, man. Like, for real.
She said she'd appreciate that. But Chad, so we had a good week this week. Sorry that we didn't have the video for last week go up and everybody get a chance to see it, but we did put the audio up. Let everybody know you can catch the Good Brothers podcast on all your featured podcast outlets, from Google Play to iTunes to even on your Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play Good Brothers Committee podcast, and she'll pop it on for you. So give us a listen. Don't forget to go to the YouTube page, Churchill Smoke Shop, and the Good Brothers Committee. Like, subscribe, so we keep this thing going. And if you got a topic or a subject, and if you want to participate as well, be sure to come out and join us. But before we wind this thing down, Chad, I want to talk a little bit about, we had talked a little bit about the national championship game, which was Monday, and everybody saw, what happened with Georgia and TCU. Mm-hmm. Now the debate has been going on in the national media. Did TCU deserve to beat that?
Well, hey, based on the playoff system,
right?
Who was in there, who won, they got Hayes. What more can you ask for? But the killer part about this is because so much money is up in the air, especially we're talking about expanding the teams. Now, the FCS has always laid the plans. But everybody, according to the bowl games and who will get in the bowl games, it's all about the money. Now, I always said, take the top 16 teams, make each bowl game a playoff site. You're still going to make the money because certain teams in certain Power 5 conferences got media rights. You're going to make money. It's going to be exciting. The underdog going to have a chance, just like the top team going to have a chance. Georgia showed up. TCU did not adjust, but Georgia really showed up. Took them weight bets out and hazed TCU.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, look, I think TCU maybe have 2 5-stars. Georgia got like 30, something like that. I mean, talent was going to win the game. We were talking around the bar and everybody was like giving their early game predictions, and everybody was like, "Oh well, TCU going to keep it close." I knew it was no shot. When Georgia came to play, I knew it was no shot. The game was over after that first series. And I said it, like Georgia went down and scored. I said, God damn. You can see the way they scored. TCU
Hmm.
didn't have nothing for them. And I hated for those guys at TCU, but they jumped in the big boy pool. You
Yeah.
jump out there. One thing I didn't like was their coach making that comment concerning the SEC, saying, they can't pull a Citadel in Week 10. They got to play Texas. So the SEC play those late games, out of
Hmm.
conference games. Well, if you played in the SEC, you will take a late out of conference game. I mean, you
Right.
can't play those games back to back to back to back to back. We don't have a Iowa State or Kansas. Well, Kansas is pretty good this year, so you can't say Kansas. But Nebraska, we don't have those off games in the SEC. You're lucky if you get a chance to play Vanderbilt, and then the other conference is a mid-level team. So it's just tough like that. But all
Well,
in all, it's still back in the SEC, the strongest conference in the nation.
yeah. I mean, they reset the standard. But again, any Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you can get your tail whooped.
Yeah.
No matter what conference you in, no matter what level you on. I mean, look at Appalachian State of Michigan. You know, TCU guy has talent, a good coaching staff. They are very gritty. But you ran against a Georgia team that came in and refocused. They knew what they had to do, and on top of that, they knew what they wanted to do, and that was to be national champions. And they showed it from kickoff to the end of the ball game.
Did you see? Did you hear Kirby Smart's pregame speech?
I did not. I
Oh
did not.
man,
Did
oh
not.
man, you
Did
gotta
not.
hear
Did
that.
not.
You gotta hear that. Yeah, look,
I'll check it out.
I guarantee if you hear it, you gonna want to play. You gonna say, you gonna take your knees and say, hey, we finna get back in this game.
Yeah, for about a down and a half.
Well, listen, guys. Look, we appreciate you coming out for this special Good Brothers Committee podcast on a Friday night on the Hill. Look for us to put up another new podcast probably in about another week or so.
Right.
Uh, Feel free, like I said, you can email us at Good Brothers Committee gmail.com if you got a particular subject or topic or cigar you want to talk about. Chad, tell the people what you're smoking so they get some concept of what you're smoking. You're
Oh,
smoking
like
a
I
Project
like
40.
big gauges. I'm smoking an Alex Bradley Project 40. I like big gauge cigars, 70, 80. I like full body Maduro.
Yeah, Project
Um,
40 is a Nicaraguan rapper who's sealing a Havana, Brazilian Havana leaf and a
right.
Nicaraguan long filler. It's a 7x7 by, like you said, Alex Bradley. It's good, strong, not strong, it's good, full body smoke to enjoy. Uh,
Right.
you know, Speaking of which, I know the Queen of the Hill mentioned that a lot of guys like big green gauges, so that's why we keep them here in the shop. A lot of big green gauges. Me, I'm more of an all over the place person. I smoke for Toro, I smoke for Lancero. My favorite size is a Toro. Most cigars I can smoke on a Toro size. That's because it holds the most flavor. And it's a variety of cigars. So one thing we also going to do is when we come on, we try to introduce a new cigar to the audience and give some insight on it, and we're gonna have some giveaways and a lot of things like that coming up. So keep tuned in, and you'll see a lot of things go on here, especially with the Soul City Smoke Fest in
Right.
partnership with Churchill and the Good Brothers Committee to get a lot of things done and create an atmosphere where people can enjoy the hobby and the lifestyle.
Right. Right. So again, everybody, please, please, please go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe,
Subscribe.
share, follow us on Facebook, follow us on all the major sound platforms. And man, hey, there's something you want to talk about, you want to come on, just email us, let us know.
Let us know.
We'll be here, man. Hey, we'll make this thing pop.
So look, it's Friday night. Grab your smoke. Grab your nice cocktail.
Light up, man.
Enjoy your weekend. Good brother. Good brothers committee. Assalamu
We
alaikum.
salute. We salute. Walaikum assalam.